All right, welcome to this new video. Today we're going to talk about receiving and sending payments offline using the Fedi application. So essentially, it's very easy. All you have to do is simply opening your Fedi application on your mobile device. The second thing that you will have to do is to double check that you are whether the receiver or the sender. If you are the receiver, you can simply follow the step on step 1. And if you are the sender, you will follow the steps on step 2. The best thing to do after that is to basically understand why and what scenarios you would use offline payments and in what scenarios you will use regular online connected payments. You would use offline payments, for example, in a face-to-face scenario where you are facing someone who doesn't have internet connectivity on their phone, but they're a merchant, for example, and they will need to receive their payments on their phone. So they will basically show you their QR code and you will simply scan their QR code and send the payment. You as the sender will need to be online and the receiver is offline. The sender has to be online to send and the receiver will receive when they get back online. But they still receive during the transaction while they are offline, and then they will claim the sats when they are back home or in a situation where they got internet now. But the transaction will still occur while they are offline. That's the main point here. Now, let's review step 1, what's happening on the receiver side, and then step 2, what's happening on the sender side. So on the receiver side, it's actually very easy. You open your app, and as you can see, we are completely offline. I'm pressing all the buttons and we are completely offline everywhere. The next step is to actually press the OmniScan button. That is the button that looks like a scanning button on the top right corner. When you press that button, it opens your camera automatically, as well as giving you the paste option. So if you receive a token from someone who wants to pay offline or wants to send you eCash, they can do so by following the steps on the step 2 shortly. They will be able to send that to you via a link, and then you'll paste that link right here by pressing the paste button. But for here on this example, we will continue with the QR scanning capability. So let's press the OmniScan button. It's saying redeem eCash token. It detected the QR code and we will press continue, and that's pretty much it. It shows the amount that was sent from the sender, and a few seconds later your sats are received pending you being online and the transaction is concluded. After that, you want to make sure by pressing the transaction button to verify that you got the sats. They are just pending. So I'm getting back online to show you how it goes from pending to received. And within a second, as soon as I'm online, it already noticed that, hey, you have some pending transactions, and it automatically receives and validates those transactions for you without you doing anything. Now, the last thing that we're going to do, and this is really the most important thing, is to add transaction notes. Always have to add transaction notes. It's really the best way to keep track of all the transactions that you have for your own accountability, so you can see each transaction that came inside your wallet or left your wallet. So just make something that makes sense to you. I received this offline payments from such and such. Take it from there and then hit save. That's pretty much it. Now, let's review quickly the steps the sender will have to go through to be able to send you the offline payments. Very easy. Now, let's just press the send button. So you go to your wallet, you press the send button on the Bitcoin side. It will come up with a QR code scanner or 2 buttons at the bottom. One says paste and the other one says send offline. So you just press send offline and it will ask you to select an amount. So select an amount, but before you select the amount, write down the notes for the transaction. I like to do this first because it helps you get in the mindset of always keeping track of all your money, where it's going, where it's coming from, just for your own accountability. Sending eCash while recipient is offline, for example. This is just an example. If I was sending money to a particular merchant, I would just mention the merchant's name and be done with it. Next, we'll enter some amounts and then press next. Just for fun, we will check the fees. So let's press on details and fee. and you will see that the fees are absolutely minimal for this type of transactions because it's offline. It's using a protocol called eCash. Let's confirm. So it's actually saying that when the QR code is presented, the sats will be removed from our wallet. The sats have to be locked from your wallet to be spendable on the recipient's wallet. Very simple, so that you don't double spend the sats. So once you press continue, it will essentially lock the sats on your phone. The second part will be right here on the green button that we will press when we are sure that the recipient scanned our QR code. Once the merchant, for example, scans my QR code, then I can press this button. The recipient, which is the merchant in this case, has 3 days to redeem the eCash. Basically, 3 days to get back online to redeem the sats for himself. Once he does that, he will be greeted with a beautiful message that we will see shortly. Now, on the sender side, when you're ready, all you have to do is simply press that button. And if you're not comfortable yet, you can always press the cancel send button so that it shows that you made a mistake and maybe the amount is incorrect. But in this case, if you're confident, you'll press I have sent the payment. You have to hold that button for about 3 seconds. And here we go. You can clearly see that you've sent the sats with a nice message. After that, in this case on my phone, it's showing me to rate the federation that was used to send this payment. So once you do that, you will finally be able to rate them, and that feedback will go to the federation and they will use that to improve their services. The federation is very useful and helpful to its members. So I really encourage each and every one of you to really rate your experience when requested. I hope this has been informative for you, and I will talk to you in the next video. Take care.